Hi, folks. Thanks for joining us yet again for another really awesome webinar. But today we are focusing on the concept of cybersecurity, which is such an important task and such an important role for many small companies out there. Today we're joined by a company called Axur, and we are with the CEO, G, and their partner manager, Raymond. G and Raymond, thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. It's a pleasure to be here.
No problem. G, let's start with you. Give us a bit about yourself and who you are.
Yeah, sure. So, first of all, thank you for having us here. It's a pleasure to be interacting with this great public. A little bit about myself. I'm originally from Brazil, but I had the fortune to live in very different cultures and countries for the last, I would say, 20 years. So I've been working in the other side of the stream there. I've been working for companies that could be your customers, companies such as HSBC, ABI InBev, Heineken, PPG, Philip Morris. So those were the companies I used to be an executive for. And with those companies, I had the experience to live in different parts of the world, including South America. I lived in Europe, in Lausanne, for more than 2 years, exploring Europe and Africa. Then I went to Asia, where I spent 2.5 years in Malaysia and 3.5 years in Singapore. Then back to Brazil with Heineken. Then back to Singapore, like I said, living there for Heineken. And then I came back to Brazil with PPG to run a business unit based in the south of Brazil. And then PPG brought me to the US about 3 years ago, where I live with my family. I was living in Pittsburgh and I just moved. I just moved 1 week ago to Orlando, where it's my base now, to work with Axur. So Axur is a company I joined 2 months ago. It's something I've always been inspired for, is to work for a tech company, and cybersecurity has always been a passion. So with my perspective of knowing the companies that are sometimes or very frequently hit by malwares and invasions and leakage, I know what the pain points are in those companies, and I know from experience what we expect from companies such yourselves to help us with, so we don't have situations like the ones that we face every day. So for me, I have a vision and a passion that cybersecurity will be more important than police, putting this in the perspective of our evolution as the way we interact. And I'm very proud to tell my kids that Daddy helps make the internet a safer place. So that's a little bit about myself.
Thank you. Raymond, are you good to have a quick comment?
Yes, absolutely. So my name is Raymond Tiarina. Dave, thank you for having us today. MSPAA as a part of our network that we have with you guys. So, I've been in this industry for going on 30 years now. And basically, I've worked in the network and security field for those last 30 years. So I understand, I've seen the evolution between when we first started with the dial-up all the way to where we are today. So from that experience, I've taken that, and now I'm helping other companies go out and actually help defend against the security vulnerabilities out there. So again, once again, appreciate that, Dave. I appreciate you for having us on, and we'll take it from there.
Awesome. Well, between the two of you, tons of experience. That's very evident. And hopefully this webinar is going to give a lot of the audience some of the tools that they need and potentially some of the answers that they're looking for. Are you guys ready to do this?
Absolutely.
All right, Raymond, we're going to kick off with you. The stage is all yours.
I think I'm going to start, and then I'll let Raymond continue. I think that's how we planned. So if you don't mind.
Yeah, go right ahead. You're on.
All right, cool. So let's start by looking at the cybersecurity market itself. I think it's important to have this perspective before we start, right? So currently, we're experiencing unexpected growth in this area. This is more than just a chance to stop threats. It's a business opportunity for MSPs just like you to expand into a high demand space. So looking at this opportunity at Axur, our goal is to be your partner in capturing this market opportunity that's huge, and the trend is up. We'll help you enable new revenue streams to elevate your business through next level proactive security services. So just to give a little perspective on why this is, right? So to underline why this really matters. So imagine an employee at your client's company receives an email appearing to be from a trusted supplier, and he goes there and he clicks on something, and that something is a malicious link. Unwillingly, he shares credentials. He suddenly ransomware locks the entire operation's critical data. He stops operations in that company. Work stops. Everything is in panic, and losses begin to mount. So in these situations, MSPs typically help restore backups, but customers will inevitably ask, how do we stop this from ever happening again? And this is where the distinction between MSPs and MSSPs and the difference in security is crucial. As an MSSP, you don't just wait to react from those breaches. You work offensively to spot and eliminate threats before they disrupt your customers, your clients' businesses. So that's kind of where we come from. If you go to the next slide, I can continue a little bit of the understanding. So clarifying what sets MSSP, Managed Security Service Provider, from an MSP, Managed Service Provider. So the MSP, apart from traditional MSPs, often focus on infrastructure, maintenance, and break fix support. That's the MSP. And the MSSPs, meanwhile, proactively watch for attacks, detects them early, and neutralize them fast before they actually happen. So cyber threats are becoming increasingly sophisticated, and ransomware, phishing, data leaks, and more, our single breach can completely wreck an operation, undermine trust, and cause substantial financial losses. So here's as the S really matters on MSSPs. MSSPs deliver ongoing threat protections, incident response, and security intelligence to anticipate and thwart attacks like that. So they reduce risks through constant surveillance, preserve brand reputation, and craft flexible solutions that scale as threats evolve. So Axur is designed to make this transition seamless for you. With our AI-driven platform, it enables proactive threat hunting, identifying vulnerabilities before attackers do. So by offering this advanced capacity and capabilities, you provide real tangible value to your customers and tap into profitable revenue streams as this trusted security partner for your customers, not only as an MSP, but now with an MSSP, providing security in and outside of your firewall. So if we transition to the next slide, I'll tell you a little bit on how we're different. So let's face it, right? In today's climate, it's no longer a question of if a breach will occur, it's when. We know that. As a matter of fact, Axur has seen this fire's hand with extensive threat intelligence. Sorry, I see you have a question there, Dave.
Yeah, gee, did have a question there. So great information. And I suppose one of the questions I wanted to ask you was, is it worth investing in any external security for my clients? So that's the kind of question based on what you've been saying so far there's another question I want to ask after this.
Yeah, sure. Well, the first answer to your question is absolutely yes, right? So 88% of breaches are linked to human error, and external threats like phishing, data leaks, and major risks for companies today. So Axur actually helps you provide tailored protection against these threats, delivering visible results and increasing your clients' trust. If you look at some numbers, and we've detected here, and I think you can see that.
Yeah.
Imagine we have detected 57 billion leaked credentials in 2024 itself. It's a 13-fold jump from 23.
So, and
300 million. Sorry, go ahead.
And that's why I wanted to ask this question as well. Is 57 billion leaked credentials. That's a lot of credentials.
Yes.
All right.
Right.
Now, whether that's private individuals or companies or whoever it is, right?
Yeah.
My understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong here, my understanding is, the Azure platform will help mitigate that, detect that, and then react. Obviously, someone will have to do that, obviously, right? But so me if I'm going to have this for a client, let's just say it's someone sitting at home and someone who is a solo entrepreneur, and we're just helping them. Will this system help with that entire credentialing platform?
Yes. So what happens is we understand there's a threat by going through this 57 billion leaked credentials
Got it.
and really detecting which ones are really crucial and which ones are really sensitive in terms of being opening the doors for somebody to go into a company, for example. And what we can do is we can tell the company which are those credentials that were leaked and have them block immediately. And we can also do that block, and even you as a provider could block those credentials for being able to access that platform or that whatever system
Sure.
we're talking about, and until that person reestablishes new credentials so that the hackers or the attackers cannot go in. So, and this happens almost immediately. So the systems now with the AI and the way we operate, it's so fast. Things happen so fast that it's almost impossible for us not to detect something
Sure.
after the person started to hack in, because it's a matter of instance.
And I suppose, one of the questions that a lot of people may wonder and even ask is, does that include the dark web?
Absolutely. So deep
Okay.
and dark web is something that we monitor, and I think that it's important to tell that we are in more than 7,000 channels in this, and we are looking and participating on everything. And if we see anything that surfaces in any platform, I'm talking platforms like Facebook, like LinkedIn, like Instagram, anything that happens there, or WhatsApp, or Telegram, if anything that's in there and it's been talking about in the dark web, we see this leaking inside there. We see what's happening, and we can channel that information to triangulate and let people know, let our customers know that something is going on, and they should be very careful, or they should take this and that measures in order to prevent any leakage or any invasion. Let's put it this way.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Fuji.
Absolutely. My pleasure. So let's continue here with what I was saying. As I said, 13 jump right from the leakage on 2024 compared to 2023. 339 million leaked credit cards. Imagine that. That's a 26-fold spike from the previous year. And frauds cause, for you to have an idea, frauds cause 118%. We've analyzed 2.3 billion messages on dark web. So that's the level of depth we go when you ask that question on dark web. Imagine 2.3 billion messages on the dark web. And here we're not playing defense only. We're playing offense. So we're understanding what's going on, and then we're taking action before any of these attacks happen. So unlikely any approach that you've heard, we are focusing on preventing these disasters before they actually happen. We're here to help you hunt down threats. So you can be seen as well as someone that's preventing things from happening in your customers and not only solving those problems. So credential leaks, card exposures, brand misuse, impersonation of executives. This is all detected and managed by us. And there's a key differentiator here with Axur platform. You take the fight to attackers, minimizing business disruption for your customers and reinforcing your position as a strategic revenue generating partner. Because those threats, they really make your business go bad, and your credibility, your brand, even the people inside your company, I mean your customers' company, they feel that impact of being invaded. So we can help you have them prevent these situations. And when you think, okay, but I worried about cost, hiring security experts and revamping operations, That must be really expensive. You must need a lot of people. But Axur's AI automation reduces the need for large specialized teams like we're used to. So by leveraging our platform, you can scale your security offerings without any massive overhead change. So in short, you can be proactive, offensive, and profitable all at once. So meeting growing demands for the securities business that I just explained, while boosting your bottom line as a business and your customers' bottom line as being proactively detecting anything that could harm them. All right, going to slide number 7 here. Let's give the velocity, given the velocity of the volume of threats, a purely defensive stance, right? This will not suffice. We have stop defending and start hunting. So this is a provocation here I want to throw. This shift is all about proactively searching for vulnerabilities, suspicious activities, leaked information, data, before the cyber criminals exploit them. So the data is there, and then the dark web and those criminals, they commercialize those informations in order to tailor an attack. So if we detect that first, it will be very unlikely that that happens, right? So AI powered threat hunting tools that we currently have, fortunately, it's something that continuously scans the surface and the deep and the dark, and they flag potential risks that you can take immediate action. So as they're doing this 24/7 in a speed that you would not imagine, this is always flagged when you have threats perceived within your customer that you're monitoring with us. And this automation lets your team focus on what is higher value strategic tasks, building trust with customers, expanding your customers' tickets, and expanding your portfolio as well. So by hunting threats early, you provide an unmatched pace, a peace of mind, of course, and the pace of your business of growth gets a higher because you're just offering another stream of business that you could profit from, not having to expand your base so much. So the partner who protects them from losses and downtime and haunts is not just the one who fixes it. That could take you to the next level of stakeholder engagement in the organizations you work with, right? So transitioning to slide 8. So all those factors, complex threats rising, client awareness, the need for offensive strategic understanding and actions are properly pulling and propelling this MSSP market and its growing capacity. Look at this 15% CAGR. It's projected 86 billion by 2030. That's a huge market, guys, and we're talking about tapping into that. So for MSPs, this is a perfect storm of opportunities. So you can meet an urgent market demand while significantly enhancing your own business model. And that's aligned with shifting to being an MSSP status, goes beyond offering traditional IT services like we currently do. It's offering being the first line of offensive, being the one that's out there looking out for you, looking for any information that might disrupt your business. For why with Axur, this threat intelligence is key. Because with Axur, threat intelligence and automation, you'll be well equipped to provide these sensitive information surfaced without the need to have 1,000 or 100 or 50 or 10 people working on it, because you're going to have AI and us doing that for you. And you have that in the palm of your hands with your system within. So I'm going to let and give this stage now to Ray, as he's going to explain how Axur can take the offensive, help you take the offensive approach from being an MSP to becoming an MSSP, and including a very important letter in your spelling. Say, yeah, sorry.
Before we go over to Ray, and I know Ray's here on the screen at the moment, but there's a question I wanted to ask you. You spoke about, the trajectory that it's going on, and I think we can all agree with that. But the question I want to ask you is, what does it really mean to be an MSSP? Because we all know what an MSP is, or most of us do, but what is an MSSP? What is the true definition of that?
All right, so I think I have the perfect way to answer that is with Ray's next part of the presentation. He's going to address the specific differences and how we can shift.
All right,
Dave,
Raymond, pressure's on you.
yeah, thank you, Dave. Thank you, G, for transition over to me. And
Absolutely.
everyone here, I appreciate your attendance today. So I want to talk a little bit about what the difference is, right? So when we understand what really means from the MSP to the MSSP model, there's really not a lot of difference, especially the way we're going to be able to transition you. Now, we all kind of understand, from the MSP part, infrastructure, data backups, network, kind of managing those functions for the customer. And sometimes it's very difficult to transition over because of maybe expertise, the cost, the time for training. There's a lot of different factors that come into play transitioning from an MSP to an MSSP. So one of the things that I want to talk about today is we want to help you understand that it's a lot easier than trying to take on and tackle a lot of the other products today, like like firewalls and IDS positions and all the intricate parts of security when it comes to trying to manage that for your customers. So what we're able to do is, G kind of talked about it earlier, we're a full-fledged platform. And what we help with is we do all the heavy lifting. All you need is somebody to manage those alerts coming in and verifying it with your customer. That's it. So really, we're doing all the heavy lifting. We're helping you through this process, and we're helping you understand exactly what you're looking at. And this could be a little different. This is a little different because now if you are MSSP today and you don't have this type of solution in your portfolio, this is a great transition into offering that solution as well. And I understand a little bit, it's a little scary sometimes looking at this from an offensive play, but we all understand defensive, right? So we've all been inside the perimeter. We all understand that very well. But now we have to understand the outside part of that. Now we have to start playing offense. And the biggest part of that is going out and finding those places that were vulnerable without having somebody else look for that information, bringing it into foresight, and then hacking your systems. Because I can tell you right now, it is a big problem with the numbers that we looked at earlier with G. It is a big problem. It's happening every second of the day, especially when you're talking so many applications that are out there today, so many communication paths, everything that we communicate with today, there is too many to monitor. So now this is why we want to help. We want to help you help your customers. So when we look at this from a perspective, right? So focus on external threats. External threats, again, on the offensive play is something that a lot of us aren't used to looking at, but it's very necessary. And I'm going to give you an example of why. It's because, again, we're always so focused on trying to keep everybody out, but we don't understand what we already gave up. Okay, does that make sense? We've already leaked credentials out. There's things that are out there floating around. People have captured that from whatever source they did it from, but not knowing that information hurts the internal customer itself because now you don't know how to defend yourself. Okay, as an MSSP, you can now help that customer focus on the external threats to say, look, if you have malware on your system that hasn't been detected, or you have a platform that out there that's leaking information, now we're able to see that, find it, focus on it, and take it down quickly. Okay. So after all, what are external threats? So that's a great question when you're looking at it. So compromised credentials, right? Fake social platforms, huge in this industry. And I'll give you an example. We just had a couple of customers last week came out and said that other people are building LinkedIn profiles on their name and brand. And what they're doing is they're harvesting data from that, whether they're harvesting applications, resumes, or they're trying to figure out, hey, can I get somebody to tell me a little bit about somebody else that's in this industry, a little bit more detail as I look for their profiles. Again, very big. A lot of companies have those problems today. Phishing, right? Hacks, impersonations, fake profiles. I mean, there is a ton out there, and we're not even really looking at that from that perspective, right? We've always been internal threats. We're never looking external. This is a great way to understand what all those external threats are. And again, reach out to us at Axur. We're able to help you understand a little bit more detail if you find yourself not really understanding where those threats are coming from. Because if your customers haven't started asking you for some of this help, they will start soon enough. Okay. What's the best way to start, offensive cybersecurity? Well, that's a great question, right? So there's kind of a 4-step plan that we like to kind of nurture our customers through. Educate your clients on cyber risk and response and readiness. So again, we talked a little bit about how to really prepare someone and talk to them about that. We have a lot of customers. We've been doing this for 20 years. We have a lot of customers that have already expressed, fake profiles, leaked credentials, dark web information, and so on and so forth, right? Just last week, we've had 2 or 3 different customers on just different things. We just finished up with Christmas. That's the other big part. So if you sell a widget or a product or service and somebody puts a platform out there and starts to steal business from you, that hurts your business internally. And then especially if your customer does not keep the same standards as the quality product that you're providing. Again, hurts your reputation, hurts your brand, hurts your bottom dollar.
Raymond, can I ask a question here, if you don't mind? And I may be jumping the gun here, but I thought it was a crucial time to actually ask this question, if you don't mind. So the slide that you're showing right now is how to kickstart cybersecurity services. Okay. And I want to ask this question before you go into more detail here. And the question is, what are the main challenges in offering cybersecurity services, and how does Axur help? So I think the key word there is, what are the challenges and how do you do it? And how do you combine those two together? That's going to be really valuable for people that are considering this avenue.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dave, for the question. So if you're looking at it from a challenging perspective, and again, maybe it's a little different thinking process from your traditional thinking of security to now looking for external threats. So the beauty of it is there's not a heavy lift to really do this. Our platform is so automated that it does a lot of that heavy lifting for you. And what we do is we bring on a partner, we educate them into this industry, we work with them, and then we actually get them to the point where they understand with us on what to ask their questions, right? And to really understand how to approach their customer. And that's huge, because now if you have an existing customer, you want to go out and talk this information about, hey, leak credentials or whatever that you may want to talk to these customers about, we help you all the way through. So what we do is we go out and we help sit down with you, and we'll take 5 of your top companies that you work with. And what we do is we go out and we hunt with you. We'll do all that pre-work ahead of time. So that way you're already ready and established to talk to those customers before you even get in front of them. That's the heavy lift that we're going to be doing on our end to help you be successful on your end. So thank you for that question, Dave. I appreciate this. We do have an Axur University as well. A lot of great information about the platform. We do have, everybody from product developers to product managers, everybody that will be able to help support you as well. And we'll even run appointments with you guys if you have to the point where you're having new people come on and they're not too comfortable approaching these types of questions and talking to your customers. We are available to help you with that as well. Okay. So that's kind of the start of small, with a high impact offering. Now, if you're a 10 people shop and you don't have a lot of products, you want to transition over to that, this is how we're able to help. We do all the heavy lifting for you. Okay. So now identify and addressing external threats. That's the other part. We want to help you identify those before you go to those meetings with your customer. Okay. Now integrate seamlessly across the services. Again, this plays perfectly, because now if you have an existing client, you can say, hey, Mr. Customer, let's see if we can continue to find things outside of that. Now we're able to increase revenue with them. We're giving them different services that we're, as an MSP or an MSSP, we're providing them services that they may not be looking at today, but also to seeing if all the defenses that you're doing with them work. That's the other part, right? Hey, we're doing a great job. This is what we don't see out there. Okay. Again, one of those types of things that you want to kind of help your customer through, help them understand we're doing a great job for you, and we want to continue with that. Okay. Now let's talk about new clients, right? So we talk about, going out. I just had a partner a couple of weeks ago that have been onboarding with us. And one of the main questions is, hey, how do we get new clients on board with us? Well, we all do assessments, right? So we go out, we do an assessment with them, we educate, and we go, hey, Mr. Customer, we just want to do a, quick pen test, make sure all your defenses are working properly, make sure that you're not leaking anything. So then we said, well, why don't you just do this as an assessment? Hey, a part of this, we don't have to be intrusive. You don't have to put any agents out there in your network. All this is external. So all we have to do is plug in a couple of these informational points in there, websites, domains, and then we go out and do the rest. So no intrusion at all. Very easy. Once you do that, now you're able to go back to your customer and go, hey, Mr. Customer, we see here that you have a couple of leaked credentials. Are your defenses really working? So let's take a look at everything above that, right? So let's take a look at everything that you're doing today, and then let's see if we can help you get a little bit better with your security posture. So now again, gaining new customers, right? Earning the respect, gaining new customers is huge in this market. I think that's where everybody wants to continue to increase new clients, increase revenue. Okay. Now, again, showcasing external threats, again, a part of that, offering tailor-started solutions. The good thing about it is that once we find credentials that are leaked with your customer, it's easy from there on out. All you have to do is click a button, take it down, and we do the rest. Again, we've done this for 20 years, so we have agreements with over 7,000 different platforms that when they see a response from us that's crafted already the way they want to see it, they automatically take it down. They don't even question us anymore because we've been doing this for a very long time. So again, having that experience, having the knowledge of doing this, and then having the bots out there creating new opportunities to take these things down, that's where Axur really goes above everybody else that's in the industry today. Integrated seamlessly across operations. Again, we do takedowns. What takedowns are is when you see something malicious out there hurting your brand or your company, one click, we take the rest of it from there on out from our product itself. Easy. Again, your main concern will be is just educating your individual that's going to be managing this platform, looking at the alerts. And if you need help with the alerts, bring our team members on. We're able to help you through that process as well. Okay, great. So again, why partner with Axur, right? And I can't say it enough. We're so automated that it makes it look easy. Again, it's not easy, but it's very doable. So when we look at this, we want to look at the way we are helping our partners, right? We want to drive your expansion and coverage and your reach and your customers. That's what we want to do. We want to help you understand that there are other vulnerabilities out there that you can help your partners and customers with. And this is what we're doing, is we're helping you provide you with those details and a platform to do that with today. Okay. Now, also on the enriched part, right, your data and decision making. Again, we're trying to help you. We've got experience across the board. We're helping you because we're automating every piece of this for you. We want to help you put this in your portfolio quick and easy. Our partners today, they're onboarded within 30 days, and then we're actually doing work for them and with them in the next week or so. That's how easy this process is. And really the biggest thing is just getting through the little minute management pieces. But after that, it's all on board, onboarding customers from there on out. Now, again, we can do a shorter time frame. We could do a week. We could do 2 weeks. Depends on your availability and where you are and where you want to really succeed in. So again, we're here to help, and we're to help you as well. Okay.
Raymond, can I ask a question here?
Yes.
I'm going to put it up on the screen here. And I was thinking about this as you were speaking there for a few minutes. I understand the platform, and I understand what your mission is, and I understand what you want to do. I get that part. But there are a lot of people, MSPs, MSSPs, who are just coming into this realm, who are just starting to put their feet in the pool and just to start swimming. Mm-hmm. Where do they start? Because they can't jump in with something that seems complicated. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But where do they start if they want to start offering these services?
Contact us. What we can do is we'll run down. What we do is we do an evaluation, right? So we'll ask you a couple questions. Are you set up today? Do you have a management service that you're doing? Do you offer any of those? And, if you say yes and yes, then from there, we'll help you transition into it. Easy. It's not a difficult task. We help you all the way through. We're just not just offering a platform. We're providing expertise to help you transition over. That's the beauty of it. Most companies will go in there and just want to understand and throw a product and, set you on your way. We are willing to want to help you transition find those problems and with your partners and customers, and then transition into this business.
And that's, that's why I asked that question, because I am an MSP and I do this a lot as well.
Mhm.
But I find that with vendors, a lot of vendors, they give you a platform and they say, off you go, best of luck, call us when you need to do billing or if you need to upgrade your account.
Right.
There's no real support. And again, I'm generalizing, of course, right?
Mhm.
But there's like no real support, as in like, if I'm really going to do this and I'm really going to on board with you, I need someone to walk me through this, and I need you to hold my hand. As better way of saying it, just hold my hand and take me through this life cycle. And a lot of vendors lose touch with that.
Right. Absolutely.
What you're describing is not that.
Correct. And that's a great point, Dave. And I appreciate you bringing that up, because sometimes when we go through our question process, you may not be ready for this because maybe you don't have people that are doing management already for you. Maybe there's areas that you need to kind of build up a little bit, but we'll help you do those types of things because, again, you only need one person to kind of manage this platform. That's how easy it is. But if you don't have anybody doing that today, then we'll help you, guide you through to say, hey, look, these are the skill sets that you'll need to provide for this product. And then everything else is all you're doing is managing the platform itself. Again, we do have a lot of support here at Axur, and we're willing to help you in any possible way we can for you to succeed.
Let me ask you another question, and I don't know if you're going to get to this or not. If I'm jumping the gun, I apologize.
Mhm.
If a new MSP who is new to this platform and wants to trial it out, have a look at the actual platform in operation, do you facilitate that?
Absolutely. Get in touch with us. What we'll do is we'll go over the whole product suite with you, and then we can give you access and let you play around with this for a set amount of time. Just let us know what that time you want to do. If it's a 30-day trial, 15-day trial, just let us know. But we want to make you successful as you do this. So we'll help you through that process as well. We'll help you understand how to hunt. We'll understand how to help you help your customers. Absolutely. We'll help you in every way.
Everybody's here because you want to increase your revenues. You want to go beyond, and we're here to help you get there. So just get in touch with us. We'll make it happen with you.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Jay. I appreciate that. All right,
you.
Raymond, back to you.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate that, G. So again, when we start talking about these pillars and trying to understand, these are the simple ways to get in. Axur has put a lot of time and investment in to help the partners that we have. And again, here in the United States, we are 100% channel, so we drive every opportunity to you guys. So we have a lot of customers today that go out and reach out to us. And what we do is we bring them on board, understand what their needs are, and then we pass it to a partner. So if you're looking for additional leads, we're here to provide those leads for you as well as they communicate with us. So again, there's our Axur website up on top. Please reach out to one of us here. We're always willing to understand, answer questions, help you through the demo. We'll kind of go through, your portfolio of understanding and where you are today, and to see how easy we could transition you into an MSSP portfolio.
Awesome, Raymond. Thank you so much. Other question I wanted to ask, we see the website down below. Are you guys going to be anywhere in person that MSPs can potentially come and actually meet you?
Absolutely. We're doing shows all over the country. Go to the website. We'll have some there. If not, what we do is we do them on LinkedIn. We'll be able to go in and start pushing out events that we will be actually at. We are doing some roundtables, some sessions that we're doing, sitting down, working with partners, getting some feedback. So if you want to be a part of that, please reach out to us. I'm sitting in Dallas, Texas. However, we're going to be doing this across the country. So if you're interested in sitting down, doing a use case with us, going through the product, understand a little bit more, and giving feedback in, please let us know. We are willing to work with you guys. And if we're in your country or your state, your city, we will definitely reach out to you and invite you in.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I'll let you get back to it. Thanks, Raymond.
Thank you, Dave. So real quickly, I just want to cover a couple of topics. We are a la carte product, so you don't have to buy the whole platform. So it's price per credit, and we'll get more into that as we sit down. So it's a multi-instance, right? So we're able to do different functionalities for different credits. So it's not all you have to use everything per month platform. It's not like that. We are very flexible when it comes to that. So other solutions that only provide one line item and you have to do it all, or a multi-set of products and you have to buy every one of those, we're not like that. We understand that only certain customers of yours have certain problems and we address those, right? So we do have API integrations as well, okay? Experience, MSP model. We have a lot of experience doing that in other countries as well as the US. And then also too, I want to talk about a little about integrations when we're talking about platforms, ServiceNow, other products like that. We're doing ticketing too. So that way you're able to send all of your information and your tickets to one portfolio. And in that way, you're able to manage it from one person. That's how easy the platform is. Okay. So again, really quickly, I want to try to wrap this up. I know we've got some questions that we need to get to, but again, we talked about the Axur University, the API integration. We have a partner portal that you go out and you can find any of the information, help with guides, whatever. We're fully equipped from that hub. Dedicated support, we talked about that earlier, and then also to platform readiness. All we have to do is just get you started. We'll train you up. All of your customers are sitting on one dashboard. You manage it all the way fully. Again, thank you, Dave. I appreciate it. We'll take it back for you for any questions.
Awesome, and we're bringing G on as well. Let's get all of us on here. Fantastic. Hi, G. Hi, Raymond. Thanks for that. That was pretty awesome. I have a lot of questions. I really do. I know we don't have time for a lot of questions, but I want to go back to one thing, Raymond. You know, we met each other a little while ago, and we were at the conference together. And you know, you guys had the booth there, you had the banner there, and you had a lot of people coming up. One of the things that I noticed was that you had a lot of people there, like a lot. Now, I don't know what all the discussions were about, but I wanted to understand why people come to you. I wanted to understand what is the initial attraction. Now, whether you can say cybersecurity, right? Everyone says cybersecurity,
Right.
But what is the attraction to the Azure platform? Can you highlight that a little bit?
You know, that's a great question, Dave, and I'm gonna sum it up really quickly. So
Okay.
one of the things that we look at today, and a lot of customers are asking for, is, you know, we understand that we do everything to protect our internal platform and infrastructure, right, as a company. However, with a product like ours, they're looking at something different. It's all external, everything's out there. So one of the big problems that you're starting to see today, and this is where our customers really come out and talk to us about, is some of the activity and hacks that we've been seeing are all done by third party. Now, if a company wants to come in and see the hygiene of somebody else that they do business with, a partner, a vendor that tie into their network, and they want to understand that landscape from them to make sure they're doing the same hygiene and their security. Now you can do it without being intrusive. You can go out there, plug a couple domains in there and see how hygiene, how clean they are on that side of it. If there are a lot of leaked credentials, a lot of information that's being poured out there, then that automatically tells you we need to work with our partners to understand that, hey, if you're going to tie into our systems, you know, we don't want to be vulnerable with you. We want to help you understand the part of that is being secure internally, so that way you're keeping us externally secure as well. So that's a big conversation today, Dave. This is where all the excitement was coming in. A lot of the customers started coming in, asking us about those things. Hey, how do I see other people? How do I keep my partners safe? That's what the excitement and buzz was.
One thing I would add, Dave, and thank you, Ray, that was a great answer, is that on top of that, we are interacting with customers, and that could be from banks to government to anybody that's there in this fair or this event that we're attending, right? We're
Sure.
exposed. And we run demos, live demos, where they can interact with our system and see real time any leakage that they might have with any names they come up with. We just type that in our system right there in front of them, and we can already assess how vulnerable that is, if there's anything out there, if there are any credentials that are leaked, if any of the executives are out there exposed. So we show them like with the touch of a button right there without having to build anything based on our platform. Anything that's out there with their customers, when you're talking to MSPs, for example, with your own customers, they can search and play with the tool right there with us. So that's why, as well, I believe that we have such a success in shows, is because we take them through it and they see it for themselves.
And it makes a lot of sense. Now that you mention it and put it in that perspective, makes complete sense. And it shows that, again, like I said this to you, Raymond, a little bit earlier, and you're not just a vendor who gives you a platform and says, off you go. You're a vendor that's supporting the entire process with the folks that are using your platform. And that has come across very, very clear during this entire session. And I appreciate that. And I thank you so much for it. Guys, we're pretty much out of time at the moment. Before we do close, Raymond G., do you have any closing comments that you would like to say very quickly?
Now reach out to us. Reach out to us. We're open for a conversation. If you want to learn more about what Axur does, a little bit more in depth, go through a quick demo, maybe have some questions that we didn't get to today. And I apologize, we just ran out of time. Please reach out to us. We're available. We want to answer your questions or any concerns that you have. Maybe you have a customer that you want to look at. We can definitely do that as well. Like G was talking about earlier, we can do demos. We can do all kinds of different things to help your customer. Thank you, Dave.
Thanks, Raymond.
On top of that, thanks, Ray. I would say, guys, the good part is you can navigate with us. You can see how our tools work and how we operate, and we can be with you in meetings with your customers, showing what new you can be doing. So we're not going to leave you alone with that. Just, okay, here it is. Here's the package. Go for it. We're going to hold hands with you and make your customers understand the value you're adding to the table and how you can get your bottom line better because of that extra service we'll provide. And that will not only get you customers that you already have excited, but also bring you customers that are interested in this sort of MSSP service to get your MSPs as well, because you provide both. So I think it's just provoking thoughts here, guys. Let's talk. Opportunities out there. Let's grab them together.
Thanks, G. I appreciate that. So, folks, you heard it from the CEO, G, and the partner manager, Raymond. Website is down below. Go have a look. Reach out to either one of them online through LinkedIn and see if they're a good fit for you. Gentlemen, thank you so much for the day. I really appreciate your insight, and I wish you have a really awesome rest of the week.
Thank you, Dave. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Ray. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you all for attending.
Bye-bye.